When you say the...
When you define what is...
Define, yeah. You name it.
Then you limit the growth of consciousness.
Yes. Naming is put a limit on it. Everything, for everything. Naming is putting limits on it. When you see a tree and you name the tree, it says to be a tree that you see. It is difficult because our mind is negligent. It jumps from thing to another, and we don't follow the movement of thought and of observation. When you see a tree, normally there is an exchange between the tree and you by the contact of your eyes. But then you see the tree and you name the tree. And particularly if you are a botanist, you give a botanical name to it and it's finished. Your relationship with the tree stops there because you have given a name to it. This is why I don't say that don't do it, because if you are a botanist, you have to learn all the list and then by heart and then know exactly. But when you observe things out of your, apart from your profession, don't try to repeat what you do in your profession. Just live the life and connect with the tree as a being without naming it. And sometimes you can have a kind of dialogue with it without words, because the tree does not speak your language. You name it is okay. Finished. And you may be an expert in botanics, but it does not lead you too far with the communication of nature. I am going to repeat myself, but perhaps I stop here. My relationship exchange. Well, recently I talked about it. Where? In Paris, in Madrid. Sorry, but if you have heard it, forgive me, because I am repeating, because they are newcomers. You don't need a language to exchange. When I was the first time, I was in Crotona in 1996. This is a long time ago. You are all born there. You were all born, not you. Hmm? Yeah, already. Oh, thank you, sir. So the people want to kind of reward me. The organizers in Crotona organized a trip for me to go and see the redwood tree, the sequoia, 4,000 years old. 4,000 years old. Goodness. And when I'm in front of this tree, I just greet him as a king, because he was a king at his time, and in his kingdom he is a king. So I greet him as a king. I said, I am so small in front of you. Please receive my homage. And it's a kind of exchange, really. It is not a language spoken. There's something kind of receiving there and then giving back, and kind of. And the person who accompanied me has really had very respectful attitude. She remains far apart from this to leave me alone with the tree. And it was wonderful an experience. Don't need any language. This is for the tree, and also for the crystals, the mineral kingdom. It is the same, even subtler. Came to see a rose quartz of 3 meters high, 2 meters large. I was there in front of this, and we are exchanging, communicating for how much time, I can't remember, but until my friend who brought me to this exhibition, having looked for me the whole museum, checking where is Kim-Dieu, and then finally she found me, and she said, "What are you doing there?" And then I sat down, and she kept silence, entered the room, sit down next to me for a while. Something wonderful happened there. So don't give a name. And I see it, I don't call, "Oh, hello, you, rose quartz." No. I salute it as a king, another king. And it is a great happiness, a great joy, a great honor to meet those things. They are still alive. You see, a block there, and then the tree, of course, is more alive than a block of crystal. But they're all alive. Okay, it is just to say that communication does not need any language. And the language is very complex. You have the vocabulary, the grammar, the syntax, and the semantics after that. So don't say to me that animals can speak a language. It is just signs of thing, ping, ping. You get some peanuts. That's all. It is not a language. Okay? Yes, sir. More questions? You have heard this so many times already, right? So excuse me, I have to repeat myself. There's something cooking there. Yes?
Maybe without the mic. She can't hear.
Yes, okay. During meditation, when certain thoughts come up, I have tried to label them with some disturbing thoughts are sometimes labeled, and when I label them, they go away, they don't disturb. I have heard that such techniques exist in the Theravada tradition in Sri Lanka. So
I cannot follow what you want to say, you see. So, yes. No, in English is okay, but...
in meditation, when I get a few thoughts, I label them and they go away. I have heard that such a technique exists in the Theravada tradition in Sri Lanka. I want to know how this can be connected with that, because when you name it, you are saying that you don't have to name it, but I know that the technique exists where you name it and it goes away.
No.
Donc en fait, quand il médite et quand il y a des pensées qui le perturbent, il arrive que quand il les nomme en tant que pensée perturbateur, quelque chose qui perturbe, ça disparaît naturellement. Et il applique à Theravada, on utilise ce technique-là. On nomme quelque part et en les nommant, ça aide les aides à disparaître. Et il nous fait savoir comment ça corrobore avec ce que tu viens de dire, parce que tu as dit que ce n'est pas la peine de nommer les choses.
I have practiced Theravada meditation for some time, and I have not recognized your practice. I don't know whether in other school or not, but when I was young, very young, I'm still young, but very young, I used to be permanent member of the Buddhist Society in Sri Lanka. Have many documents to read and then go through it. I want to understand this, the transition between Theravada and Mahayana at that time. So I read a lot about it and practiced something like that. But I don't recognize that they would advise you to name. And in fact, if you want to drop something, you don't have to name it. The more you name it, the more you retain it, you hold back. Because you are fixed to the name, meaning that instead of being attached to one step of conceptualization, you move on the movement of conceptualization and you attach to a certain point of your own concept by naming. And what I have learned from Theravada meditation is that they base very much the meditation process in order to discard negative feeling and memories, etc. They want to give you the feeling of disgust. When you see something, you feel disgusted and you drop. But my method is not just on disgusted, because our problem is the problem of the couple, the opposite of raga and dvesha, meaning attraction and repulsion. I confess that I have still to solve this, because I have a very developed nose. It is like a dog's nose. I can feel it 3 meters from afar. I can smell the thing. And it is a challenge for me the first time I visited India, because everything now smells. And I was absolutely lost in this. I said, what happens to me? And all of millions of smells coming from everywhere. Still it is now. I solved half the program, but still not yet. So then, it is limited, the meditation of Theravada, because based only on the disgusting feeling, you are very attracted more to beautiful things. It is the same burden on meditation process. You don't keep the things you like in your mind, because it is also a kind of hampering. The yoga system call it a klesha. You are building up your own klesha, and then you try to undo it, but it is zero as a fruit consequence. So I think that if we are interested for meditation, we have to start with a very simple thing, not to make a big theory, but deal with the mind itself. Look at it, see it, and then to deal with it, but not to give names, etc., etc. This is why, when you are very, very involved in this exploration, you can find the commentary of Dr. I.K. Tamni very enlightening, but sometimes it turned out to be a burden, because he gives really very fine and very subtle explanations about it. But then after that, forget it. If you want to be an expert to that, and you say these Sanskrit words at certain state of thing, you will be lost, because you are playing with concepts. And he cannot do otherwise than explaining by concept, because this is our own means to share and understanding. You see? So be careful. This is why this saying, knowledge turned out to be ignorance at a certain level. Get knowledge, but forget about it later on if you go to meditation, because meditation is the opposite process. You get rid of everything and to be yourself, meaning the self. Okay?
I have a question.
Oh, please. Go
I
ahead.
think that yesterday we had a discussion after the meditation practice, and just like between you and me. But I think that it would be very much helpful if we can share with the group. So yesterday when we were talking about someone who meditates for a while, or maybe just a short while, they may see things, they may hear things, even smell things, and taste things, as you said.
Yes.
Some people may see something very disgusting. Some people may see something very awful, horrible, and some people may say something beautiful, divine, gods or whatever comes to them. So with all that kind of vision, what would be the attitude as we meditate students when we see such kind of things?
Yeah. The mind is the king of all the senses. And it is considered the sixth sense. It is just a sense, and the king of all the five senses. When you sit down to be calm, to meditate, all the senses are still alive. And even more, they are more alive because you are aware of their function. And the five senses, meaning that you can see things inwardly, you can hear things inwardly, you can smell things, and you can taste things inwardly, touching also. All this is described also in some, I think, right on the path, something. And at a certain time you can hear a sound, a kind with silver sound, etc. But all these are just noises of physiology. At a certain time you can hear your own breathing, and it is described as the sound of wind regularly. And sometimes you can taste. In some school in India, they can even indicate to you how to do, instead of having the taste of any kind, to have the taste of honey when you meditate. I tested it, it is true. But is it really true in the sense that you are practicing meditation just to have a taste of honey in your mouth? Maybe a little bit mean, you see? So, but it works, meaning that you can create whatever you want with the senses, meaning it is absolutely illusionary. So whatever beautiful it can appear in the mind, drop and go beyond. Although the key word is beyond. But not the beyond that you imagine for yourself, because you have a picture of samadhi, so I will go to Devachan and have some samadhi, etc. It does not work like that. It is not something that you can create by the will. It has to happen naturally. Okay. So the five senses, you can see, as the gentleman I mentioned, he just saw roses, the field of roses. But I said to him, okay, keep it, because he cannot go further. And he died with this, because at the moment of death, you have some visions. Yeah? And all our preparation now is to prepare this. Not the aim of it, but it works like that, naturally. So if we lead a very idiot life, stupid life, at the end of our life, before breathing the last breath, then we will see awful things. And this is the starting point of what we call the lower astral plane. You will have to meet with beings who will draw your toes and then torture you, and at a certain point, it is the Christian call hell. We are not so nasty, so we say it is the lower astral plane. That's enough for us. So then, according to that, all the senses they are all functioning, they are all operational when you meditate. So be careful, when you feel something, you sense something, drop. This is drop, drop, drop and go. Drop and go. Meaning gate, when you don't, we say go beyond, go farther, go beyond. Don't stay there. Always on the move. But rooted in oneself. Meaning this one, which is watching everything. And we call it the watcher. Never, it is not the doer, it is the watcher, watching everything that you do. and stop to be the actor, the doer. You learn to be the watcher. For the questioner, it is okay. We can prolong a little bit, yeah? Yeah. So, 1 or 2 questions instead of stopping here. I asked you one question. I asked you one question. Are you afraid to die one day? Not of death, but to die. Death is a notion, a concept. Now, think about the end of your physical life. Are you afraid of this moment? No. Think well before saying no. Think well. I don't need your answer. Ask the question only for yourself. And if you say no, consider whether you are true to yourself. And if you say, oh yes, then ask the next question, why? You have studied a lot of things, you have understood a lot of things, and you have not understood that we are just a kind of miniaturized universe, and we have to die one day as the universe does. So why are we afraid? But we are still afraid somewhere. Afraid of what? Of losing what we think that we are. You lose your identity. Although the fact that we understood and we hope that we will be reborn, but with another entity. Learn again. Primary school, high school, lyceum, university, etc., etc. What the boring thing. Have you thought about this?
It's interesting that you ask that question. Theoretically, we would say, no, we are not afraid to die. But let's make it a little bit more realistic. Let's say we are in this room. Somebody walks in the room with a gun. The first thing we all do is to run.
No, I'm not talking about this exceptional case. Here we are certainly less, we have less probability to die that way. Take the general thing, just to die, and not to die by violent thing or by accident or whatnot, just to die naturally in our bed or whatever, I don't know, but to stop living. Don't imagine about special things. Of course, we are afraid that terrorists will come and shoot everyone, but it is 1 per billion probability. Don't take exceptional case. You see? And we will continue to this question, and I will try to explain to you the usefulness, if I can use this trivial word, to be useful. Everything should be useful. No, everything should not be useful. There are some useless things that it is very good. There, I have an anecdote to tell you about this. But I will explain why practicing meditation is also to learn to die every day. Okay? It's now 10:01. we can stop now.